We wish to call it the train method. The method which always attracts through some invisible magnetic forces the incompatible wagons, life and art, windows, spectators and emancipations, time and landscape, indisciplinarity and collective intelligence, dominant time and workers' dreams, aesthetics and communism, immobility and motion, politics and sensible. Such wagons build compositions ready for the most unexpected journeys. It is what we call the train of microhistories. Through the windows of the microhistoric train and behind its spaced out curtains, we observe. Inside our classless wagon, there are multiple passengers alongside their luggages. In the classless train without conductors, pre-reservations or fixed places, we observe in phosphene images inside the passengers' luggages. There are more wagons. Leaving eternal traces in our gaze, living different landscapes of human emancipation and flashing practices of equality interrupt the existing order. The words locoplace and the medieval Latin motivus, causing motion, become permanent cross-moving places of those displaced locomotions and reconfigurations. Thus, the microhistoric train builds a new capillary cartography of the sensible, inventing constantly new coordinations. The hidden seismologies and reconfigurations towards more just and more egalitarian microhistory of the world arise. At the vision of a revolution as a locomotive of history, described by Marx in the class struggles in France, there is a certain inexorable driving towards the direction of progress. Benjamin, in opposite, offers a version of a revolution as the emergency brake, announcing very early on a critique on progress and growth. Although there may be a third vision of a train journey. The Poetics of Knowledge by Jacques Rancière. The poetics of permanent displacement and egalitarian sources of knowledge become the magnetic assemblage. Such is Rancière's poetics. The moving map of a permanently moving landscape ceaselessly modified by the movement itself, leaving everyone to find his own motion through it. The territories and topographies of the sensible and the thoughtful begin to move through such an extraordinary self-organizing journey, constructing a sensorial map of paths or even obstacles that obliges us to think in any moment. Where are we now? Sooner or later, the microhistoric train raises the question about the engine driver and the locomotive. How do we shift from one to consider all? This is the method that counts on the recommendation of the French educator Joseph Jacotot, who in the times of French Revolution, he taught what he did not know, recommending his students to learn something and relate everything else to it. Our collective proposition for disciplinary interventions at the intersection of law, philosophy, and the arts course is a continuation of the method of equality by Jacotot and Rancière. In the times of forced isolation, as in the times after, perhaps such method opens the rails to another transportation. The multitude openings of the inner outer window perspectives, and the new closed distances. Thus, the boundaries of inside and out are definitely confused. We are all in there, but constantly moving the horizon from outside. The consequence is the transformation. Such method obliges us to move the borders, building the quality of close and distant, future and past, known and unknown. The classless train is open to everyone. The commotion started, although we did not notice it yet.